Hello everybody. So today I'm gonna be putting on makeup and telling you my embarrassing stories. That's it. Let's just get going. PSA, I will not be breaking to tell you guys what I am doing. It's gonna be a pretty basic look, I think. And everything that I am using will be listed in the description box. The reason why this idea even came to my head was today I went to get the side of my head shaved again, just, you know, maintenance, and I know nothing about barbershops or like different like fades and different guards or anything. Hair by Melissa McKenna, my hairdresser in Canada, usually just, you know, buzzes it, gives me a quick fade, whatever. She knows what I like, so I don't really have to know. But I wasn't able to see her, and I'm going to a work retreat at the end of the week, so I wanted to, you know, fix up the side of my head. So I go in, and this like older woman is the one that, you know, I get as my hairdresser, and basically she made me look like a Marine. Like, I asked for a fade, so she gave me a fade, but it was like whoop, and then like whoop, and then my hard part was just so, oh man, it wasn't very cute, and I just like kept like being like, yeah, maybe just like a little bit. I mean, I just don't know. Just kept doing that thing. Apparently it was bad enough that where I went to the bathroom, and the guy that had done my hair the first time I went to this barber shop saw me and just goes, you want me to fix that? Do you want to sit down and let me fix that? And I was like, are you sure? Oh my god. And he's like, yeah, no, it's okay. He's like, that woman is really, really sweet, but she's still just like learning how to be a barber. She was a cosmetologist, so like she, you know, she's still like learning techniques. Like, it is okay. And it was just mortifying to me because I was so out of my element, and I was like, wow, that was like truly embarrassing, even though that's not really like, it's not really a funny embarrassing story. Don't worry, I have more for you. So let's get on to the other embarrassing stories. So the other day I was talking with one of my coworkers about how I was just joking about how we need spiders in the back room because there's like flies back there and the flies eat the spiders. And she's like, no, the flies can stay there. I don't want spiders there, blah, blah, blah. And I jokingly went, what, girl, do you want Lyme disease? And this man overheard and goes, spiders can give you Lyme disease too. I know because I have it. He ended up being really, really sweet and really informative, and like obviously, you know, it's mosquitoes that give you Lyme, so I was stupid to say it anyways, but that one was great. But he ended up being so nice and just informative, and yeah, he was great, but I was just kind of like, ah! One time I had to leave work because there was blood in my poop. And obviously that's horrifying. It ended up being like fine. It was a very, very minor, it wasn't even emergency. Like I would have been fine. I, you know, nothing dangerously wrong, but basically I called I just stabbed myself in the eye. Basically I called my dad at work in the back room and was just like, Dad, this is happening, what do I do? And he was just like, well, I know how you are, you should just go to the minor emergency just to make sure, because otherwise you're just gonna freak out if you don't know. And I was like, you're right. So that's not like super embarrassing because it's like a medical thing, but going to your coworkers and being like, I have to go, my poops are bad. Also, I just want to give a little warning that if you don't like gross things like snot and pee and poop and gross things, you're just gonna want to just not watch this video. One time I was in student government. It should be embarrassing enough, but it gets worse. Well, part of my job as student government officer was to do the morning announcements. And guess who never wakes up on time? It's me. Guess who had to do the morning announcements every single morning of my high school career? It's also me. One time, so how it worked is our principal would say good morning, and we would stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. And then after the Pledge of Allegiance, I would take over and do all of the like student government announcements. So one time I came running into the school as our principal is saying the Pledge of Allegiance. So I'm like running down the hallways and he's like, I pledge allegiance, and I'm like, ah! The flag, ah! And I'm trying to get there in time to make the morning announcements. And I made it, but I was so out of breath, so out of breath. So the whole time I was doing announcements like, good morning, Wildcats. Today is a spirit day. And next week, the whole announcement was like that. And my principal, wow, I'm a little lightheaded from doing that. And my principal was just sitting there laughing at me the entire time. And I was just like, wow, this is great. When I was young, I was probably like 9 or 10. My best friend slash neighbor and I were playing in her house, and it was around Halloween time, so she had like one of those jack-o'-lanterns where you walked by and it like you know, yelled at you essentially. And we were like pretending to be scared and running out of the house. So her house was like a staircase down. There was like a landing and like kind of a little living room, and then the doorway out to their yard was right there. So we're playing this and just like, you know, pretending to be scared like little kids do. And one of the times I like pretended to be scared, I ran through their screen door accidentally. So I ran through their screen door. I like am shocked because I broke their screen door, and then her dad comes running around the corner like, what the hell just happened? And I got so scared that I peed my pants. I mean, I was like young and like it was my neighbor, so I just had to go like, you know, back to my house to, you know, change my pants and underwear. But I just like remember just like doing this, and then I was just like, oh, pee. It was not cute. So if you guys have been on my channel for a long time, you guys will probably remember Jake, my ex-boyfriend, who I'm still like friends with. So Jake and I met because we worked at Hot Topic together. And I had shopped there for a really long time. I worked at Route 21 in the mall, and I would always just go into Hot Topic and like hang out and shop around on my lunch break or whatever. And so like Jake and I knew of each other. Jake and I knew each other, and like we had kind of like flirted a little bit, whatever. And then I ended up getting hired. So within my first like 2 weeks there, Jake and I were working together, and Jake is a real funny guy. And every year I get this type of sick where snot just doesn't want to stay in my nose. And there's another story about this too, don't you worry. So I was that special kind of sick. And again, this was like within my first 2 weeks of being there. It was me and Jake, and then our other coworker who was our manager. And Jake had said something real funny, as he did frequently. And I went to laugh. But as I did that noise, just 2 large, huge snot rockets just come barreling out of my face, full force. I cover my face, I run to the back room. Jake thinks I'm crying, by the way. And the whole time I am in the back room, I am laughing so hard. Snot is like the funniest thing to me. I have the humor of like a 9-year-old boy, and like snot and poop and like everything like that is so funny to me. So he thinks I'm crying. He thinks like I'm mortified crying. And so I come out of the bathroom, and he's like tiptoeing around me, and he's like, are you okay? And I was like, that was fucking hilarious. But like, that's the thing about embarrassing things, is like, if you laugh at yourself first, other people can only laugh at you so much, you know? Like, you already beat them to it if you laugh at yourself first. One time, when I went to the Renaissance Fair, should be embarrassing as it is, but Renaissance fairs are fucking awesome. Like, don't even come for me when it comes to Renaissance fairs. But I was a young kid at a Renaissance fair, and I went to use the porta potty, and I touched the urinal cake thinking it was some sort of like weird bar of soap. I thankfully immediately put it down and was just like, nope, I don't think that's it. But I eventually had to tell my mom so that we could find somewhere to wash my hands and get hand sanitizer, and my mom just laughed at me real hard. And that's like one of my most embarrassing stories. Like, I can't believe I'm telling an audience on the internet that story, because that one is one of my most embarrassing stories. One time, I worked at Ulta, and y'all know me. I've always been a kitchen beautician. I will always try to, you know, do my hair myself, even though it's never a good idea. So one time, I worked at Ulta, and my particular group of girls that I worked with at Ulta, I loved to death, were very, very anti-box dye. Also, this is the sloppiest makeup application ever. It's okay. We're here for the stories. So at one point, I had tried to do ombre hair. Didn't really work, so we had to do like a burgundy over it. I wanted to do green and it didn't work, so we had to do burgundy. And I didn't really like it, so I tried to box dye it at home. Mind you, I worked at Ulta. You get a pretty solid discount at the salon when you work at Ulta, but I was just like, no, it's fine. No, I'm better than the girls that work at the salon. I didn't actually think that. I was just cheap and lazy. And so I tried to box dye over my burgundy ends with a cool toned box dye black hair. You wanna know what happened? My hair turned green and not the cute green that I was going for. So then your girl had to walk her sorry ass back to Ulta and hop in that salon chair with all of her coworkers being like, box dye? Really, Katie? It was a great moment. It was a really, really good moment. I did one brow and realized I have quite a few stories and not that much makeup left, so we're gonna continue. One time, not that long ago, I was having a real bad anxiety night. I had woken up in the middle of the night and my stomach was upset, which, for those of you that don't know, is my anxiety trigger. And I was home alone at the time and I was just like full-blown fucking panic mode, right? And I was like sick because I'd eaten something, but I wasn't like fully sick. You know that kind of like halfway sick where you're not like full-on food poisoning, but your stomach just like feels like it should be, you should be having food poisoning. So I was like that type of sick. So what did I do? I called Mason and I was just like, I'm having like a panic attack and like I don't feel good and like please don't make fun of me, but like I pooped my shorts a little bit. It was so funny. You know what he does every once in a while? Makes fun of me for exactly that. One time, I dated a guy that went to a Catholic school, and we got invited to a Crochet Kids event, which for those of you that may not remember, Crochet Kids was a brand of beanie that was actually started in my hometown. Two dudes that went to the high school that I went to started Crochet Kids. It's basically like Tom's, where they like donate to like people in Africa if you buy a Crochet Kids hat. So there was this like fundraiser for Crochet Kids, and he was like, it's an open mic, so you should bring your guitar. And I was like, no. For those of you that don't know, I don't sing. I do dabble in guitar. Not good. I can play a couple songs on guitar, but that's about it. And I would describe my singing voice as basically, I wouldn't get booed like at karaoke or like at an open mic if I was like playing guitar and singing, but like I don't have a great voice by any means. He was like, you should bring your guitar, like blah blah blah, it's an open mic, and I was like, yeah, we'll see. So the whole time we're doing this fundraiser, and remind you, it is at a Catholic conservative school, and then it gets to the open mic, and a couple people go up and they're just so freaking talented, and then a couple people go up and they're like about my talent. So I was like, okay, like I could do this, and I decided to be bold, and I decided to go up there and sing and play on guitar none other than If It Means a Lot to You by A Day to Remember. And for those of you that don't play the guitar or haven't played the guitar, that specific song, it's the same like 5 chords the whole song, but the order for the chorus and the order for the verse are different. So you play the same 5 chords for the verse in one way, and then you play the same 5 chords in the chorus a different order, which if you're a nervous 16-year-old playing guitar for the first time in public, that fucking blows. So I was singing and playing guitar, and I just like kept messing up the order. What is this? I just have this little, that's okay, whatever. I just kept messing up the order, and I was getting like really frustrated. And at one point, mind you, there's like a ton of kids around Catholic school, and I'm on stage, lights beaming on me, and I kept messing up the order. And then one of the times that I messed up the order, I whispered fuck into the microphone. So I was just like playing guitar, and I was just like, fuck. But the microphone was right there. So I look up, and all the parents and all the kids are just like, and I just like immediately like bury my head in my hands, and like the audience was just like, no, keep going. But I was fucking mortified. Oh my god, I was so embarrassed. And then I like finish the song, people clap, whatever. I like get off the stage. Later in the night, my boyfriend and I start to go home, and we run into like one of the people that was responsible for like putting the event together. And he's like, hey, like, good job doing that. Like, that takes a lot of bravery. Just like next time, like, don't cuss into the microphone with a bunch of kids around. And I was like, thanks. I won't do that next time, because I'm never doing that ever again. One time, so for those of you that don't know, I live in Washington, and Raw Beauty Christie lives in Washington. Oh my god, damn it. And so I have run into her in the wild twice, which is incredible. I love her so much. So one time I was in Target and I ran into her and Samantha Ravindall, like from Battle Lash Beauty, like Samantha on Instagram. Holy fuck. And I fangirled. I like tried to compose, because like Raw Beauty Christie like follows me back on Instagram, like we've talked a few times, like I'm on like a little bit more of a like normal level with Raw Beauty Christie, but like Samantha is like so like, oh my god, it's Samantha. And so I was just like, I saw Christy in Target and I was just like, oh, like cool. I like still fangirled really, really hard, but like I can control my fangirl a little bit better with Christy. But I saw Christy, and then she's walking next to somebody, and then they walk a little closer, and it's Samantha, and I was just like, what the fuck? And so, right as they're about to like pass me, I like meekly was like, hey Christy, and then she's like, oh my god, hey Katie, like she was so nice. And then I turned to Samantha, and she's like, hi, I'm Sam, and I was like, I've followed you for so long, oh my god, you're like my favorite, right next to Robbie, Christy. And like Christy just like laughed and was like, oh, I see how it is. And I was like, no, like you're both my favorite. I've just like never met her before. It was fine. It was fine. And then I proceeded to fangirl in Target for the next like 25 minutes. And I fangirled so hard that I forgot to pick up tampons, and I needed tampons so bad. One time at work, I left a tampon next to the toilet. I had to change my tampon, and the garbage was on the complete opposite side of the bathroom. It was just like work bathroom, single stall bathroom. So I do my business. I set my tampon to the side so that I can, you know, wipe and pull up my pants and everything. And then I just walked out of the bathroom and left my tampon like rolled up in like toilet paper and like, you know, like taken care of. And just left it there because I forgot to fucking pick it up and put it in the garbage can. And you know who had to come and tell me? My coworker. It was fine. One time in high school, my dad walked in on one of my just disgustingly horny, stupid high school theater kid parties to two of my best friends making out on the floor. It was great. One time, my best friend's mom was so disgusted with how much we talked about like burping and farting and pooping and stuff like that, that we were all staying the night, and in the morning, she had prepared an etiquette tea for all of us. Like a fancy little tea with like little, like just like everything, like tea cups set out, the whole 9 yards, and was just like, you guys are gonna learn how to be ladies. And mind you, this mom was like, also had her fair share of fart talk. Like, I love her so much. She's my second mom. But she was no stranger to the fart talk either, okay? She was like, I'm gonna teach you guys how to be ladies. We're gonna have a nice etiquette sit down tea. And oh my god, did it go so awry. And this is like one of my like proud, embarrassing moments because it was so fucking funny. To this day, me and my best friend and her sisters crack up whenever we tell this story. So we were all not taking it seriously. We were being like so over the top and just hilariously ridiculous. We all just like had the giggles and we're just being shithead teenage girls. So me, I go, excuse me, may I please be excused from the table? And she goes, yes, you may. Thank you for asking. And I stand up and I take one step away from the table and I rip ass. Like, the biggest, loudest fart I could possibly muster, and it wasn't even like I was trying, like I just had to and it just needed to happen, and it was perfect. And then my best friend's little sister, also when we did something bad, we got banished to the staircase. So my best friend's little sister was already on the staircase, and then she goes, "Oh, Katie, you're disgusting, go to the staircase." And so I go to the staircase, and her and I are just crying. We're laughing so hard. It was just incredible. Anyways, those are my embarrassing stories. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Let me know some of your embarrassing stories so I'm not alone and just feeling like a gem of a human. I love you guys, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!